In front of us stands a red building against a bright orange sky. Breaking news from Babylon. The Black Dragon Guild appeared to capture the 40th floor of the tower. They planned to show off the top-level guild skills. A girl with purple hair, followed by a man in a red jacket, was photographed from afar. It's a shame, but they returned empty-handed again. The journalists directed all their attention to the man with long hair and a red jacket. This time, the Black Dragon was forced to experience another fiasco. The shining protagonist of today is a rank 1 hunter. The hunter's ears had yellow metal earrings on them, as did his eyes. Summer Spirit defeated the boss single-handedly again. One of the journalists stood with a microphone in front of the hunter. They greeted each other. Today the hero again set a divine record without any hindrance. The hunter scratched his ear, and then suddenly became embarrassed. He remains the only person who single-handedly defeated the monster boss in the tower that appeared. The hero snatched the microphone from the journalist's hands. He told everyone to stop. The hero held a microphone in his hand and spoke to people. First of all, it's time to change this dog's name. Someone is watching the hunter live. He was angry. Summer Spirit, why did you give me this stupid nickname and constantly call me that? Asked the hero. What kind of summer spirit is this? It would be better to call him a rotten spirit, said the hunter. He felt like a dog. The guy with dark hair looked at the floor. He was jealous. This guy was sitting on the bed, holding his phone, watching the live broadcast with a summer spirit. The hunter shouted that he would definitely catch the one who came up with this nickname for him. He envies this kind of life, in which you can say whatever you want. The guy was watching a news feed where users criticized the hunter. The guy stood behind people whose faces were photos of online accounts. They were discussing the summer spirit who can't hold his tongue, even though the whole world is watching. But this is a legendary level hunter, so I don't care. A guy with dark hair wants to become the same. They were still standing and discussing all this, and the guy with dark hair stood with his head down. The man with the head of a cat did not understand what kind of fan the summer one was in front of him. It would be to protect. In response, he received that a person who has a photograph of a girl instead of a face is only stating facts. He suggested finding at least one person who doesn't know about summer. All television studios are chasing him. The guy who stood behind wants to become the same as the summer spirit. A man with a photograph of the city at night intervened in their discussion. He did not understand how the saint managed to contact such a person. How can a hunter be tolerated? One of them was shocked, and the other confirmed. His friend the hunter said that he saw them hanging out together. The guy with dark hair kept repeating that he wanted to become just like the summer spirit. A girl with a photograph of a flower on her face approached the man with the face of a girl. She said it couldn't be. They are friends with the saint, and she says that is not true. The guy repeated again that he wanted to become just like the summer spirit. He started typing that he wanted to become just like the summer spirit. The guy sat on the floor, staring at the phone and thinking only that he wanted to become the same as the summer spirit. He repeated this and repeated it. Okay, Mr. Summer Spirit, someone said. If only a few words would make everyone interested, the guy thought. They said that the spirit was also very rich. This guy is also jealous, the hunter shouted menacingly into the microphone. He couldn't stand this nickname and said to be called by his first name. A first-rank hunter stood on the corpses of monsters and held a weapon in his hand. If this world were a novel, someone like that would probably be the main character. The guy with dark hair was thinking that he was only fit to be an auxiliary. He wouldn't even make it to the secondary level. Suddenly, the guy stared somewhere. He heard the journalist ask the summer spirit to say a few words for the audience. A bespectacled man who stood in front of other journalists said that in their world, there are dreamers whose spirit inspires them to achieve achievements in the hunting industry. We see many newspapers that talk about the hunter. Mr. Yusuha demonstrated true skill as soon as he entered the tower at the beginning of his 20s. It didn't even take him a month to defeat the monster boss that no one could defeat for 10 years. There are many legends surrounding his personality. Yusuha grabbed his neck. He was asked to share the secret of success with dreamers. Just a few words. The guy with dark hair took the laptop in his hand in shock and listened carefully. The hunter agreed, but explained that he would only say a few words, so he asked to. The journalist held a microphone in front of the hunter's face. Yusuha said that if a person is destined to succeed, then so be it, no matter what. There were beads of sweat on the guy's face. However, even if you achieve success, do not put a spoke in my wheels, Yusuha said. He smiled and said that whoever does this will die. The hunter turned around pathetically, and the journalists looked at him with their mouths open. The hero sat on his knees and looked at the ether. He pondered the words of the summer spirit. But his thoughts were confused by the presenter, who said that they were wrapping up breaking news. The guy abruptly closed the laptop. To the citizens who watched, I didn't have time to listen to the guy. He sat on the bed, looking at the laptop that lay on his feet. Tears flowed from the guy's eyes because he was offended. He was kneeling in front of the wall on which newspapers hung. The guy thought that since the summer spirit was so cool, it could neglect people. Of course, it was not the guys who were neglected, but the reporter. But still. The young man pressed his hands against the wall. There were soda bottles and cans on the floor in the room. And when he walked, others pointed their fingers at him. If he also had such talent, he would not have to huddle in this one-room shack, and he certainly wouldn't be bothered by useless TRF hunters. The guy tore all the newspapers off the wall. He wants to become the same. He was sobbing, and the veins were even visible on his neck. He was very jealous, and also wants to become successful thanks to his talent. The guy was on his knees, leaning against the wall, and the rays of the sun were visible in the window. Or at least, how nice it would be if the skills that the summer spirit possesses were his. Rays of light fall on the wall in the guy's back. He raised his head with tears in his eyes. Some kind of golden card shone brightly before the hero's eyes. He recalled seeing this scene thousands of times, but only in videos. A golden card floated in the air, in the middle of which there was an unusual symbolism. It was a skill card. The hero stood and looked at this map, and a notification appeared above it. It said that the guy had ugly envy, a similar case of which is difficult to find. The guy looked at the next notice in surprise. The tower was shocked by his envy and bestowed the skill. The hero remembered a bunch of different videos with such moments, but he had never seen such a skill being obtained in a video. The guy started to get up from the floor. He's in no position to watch his words right now. There was smoke of light coming from the card, and the guy was reaching for it. He had been looking forward to this moment ever since he got here, and a golden card to boot. The guy held a gold card in his hand. This is a skill above S level. We see a blue notification about the creation of a skill card. A moment later, we are shown a yellow notification describing the guy's skill. The name of the skill is, I want to become like you. His rank is S+. It is automatically triggered upon death at the hands of an enemy, and copies one of the skills of the enemy who killed the owner of this skill. The skill is copied randomly. The main character looked at it all with tears in his eyes. He read that he was copying one of the skills of the enemy who killed him. There were yellow particles near the guy's hands, and tears were dripping from his face. The guy was sitting on the floor, and a yellow screen was hovering above his hands. Just die. There is a big city in front of us. Are there other skills like this? Thought the guy. One day a tower appeared in their world. It could be seen beyond the horizon anywhere in the world. People who had nothing to lose were the first to step into it. Each floor of the tower was full of monsters that came from different worlds, and only a select few were granted the skill by the tower. The summer spirit and other hunters were nearby and were about to start hunting. The people who found out about everything gathered in the tower and began to hunt monsters. The summer spirit fought with a huge snake, and in his hands was a red spear. Have you ever seen a summer spirit hunt at least once in your life? There was a program on TV where they asked a citizen about the summer spirit. He said that the hunter's weapon is a flaming spear. But he does not fight. He seems to dance. He really stands out. It's like the very embodiment of Shiva. A man in an orange apron was holding a remote control. They asked him to include something else, but he didn't understand why, because he was interested. The guy buried his face in the table, and a man stood in front of him. The boss asked the guy if he liked the summer spirit. The guy replied that that was not the point. At that time, they said on TV that he was ranked first and fully corresponded to it. The citizen who is being interviewed has peace of mind because there is not an ounce of destructive deceit in his spirit. At a time like this, they need heroes like these. The guy was lying on the table, resting his cheek on it. He only thought that such a life could exist. But in the meantime, his life was hopelessly bad. The boss raised his hand because he saw drunk people on the street. The guy recalled how he received his skill and saw the inscription, "Just die." The guy was thinking that yesterday he got a skill higher than S level. But it was of no use. You could only die with it. The hero began to cry again. He didn't even report to the Hunters Association. I didn't. The guy hit the table with one hand and wiped his face with the other. The boss looked at him angrily. The hero is ashamed to even talk about this skill, and the boss told him that the guy should go outside to get some air. The hero walked down the street, and a notification about updating the rank of hunters appeared above his head. The hero fell to the ground and held his head. He thought that his head was going to explode. Suddenly the hero turned his gaze to the side. The guy stood around the corner of the house and watched as the summer spirit stood next to the girl. She did not understand what had come over the hunter and asked him to move away. Yusuha smiled and pulled his hand under his jacket. He said that the game was not bad, and anyone would have mistaken the girl for a defenseless person. A girl with white hair stood in fear near the wall of the house. The summer spirit said, "Dear saint, there was poison in that glass of alcohol." The girl, with sweat on her face, looked at the bottle that the hunter was showing her. Yusuha thought that the girl was planning to poison him with basilisk gastric juice. The hunter threw the bottle aside and approached the girl. If it weren't for his skill, disaster would have happened. The bottle of alcohol broke on the ground. The saint told him that this was a misunderstanding. She didn't want any of this. She only planned to capture the tower together with the summer spirit. Yusuha brought his head directly to the girl's face. He told the girl that he thought so too. It just didn't work out somehow. The guy with dark hair was holding his mouth. The girl asked to discuss this misunderstanding. The guy only thought that most likely they were not dating. After all, couples don't talk like that. Yusuha grabbed the girl by the throat. He said that this option suits him. Politeness is always good. But he will set the rules of this conversation. The guy's whole face was covered in sweat, and his hand was still holding his mouth. He thought that it was more like a dialogue between a man who is going to kill and a man who does not want to die. The summer spirit held the girl by the neck. He said that he was the one asking the questions here. The girl can only move her head and answer. Yusuha warned that he has a skill in detecting lies. So I don't advise you to pull the wool over his eyes. If she's honest, maybe she'll even get the antidote. The guy was still standing around the corner and holding his mouth with his hand. The summer spirit asked a question. He wanted to find out who ordered his death. The girl looked at Yusuha in fear and held his hand. The summer spirit asked, "Black Dragon Witch." The hunter takes first place in rank and fully corresponds to it. My soul is calmer from the fact that there is not an ounce of destructive deceit in him. The saint lowered her gaze and then sharply turned her head to the side and closed her eyes. The hunter's hand began to catch fire. He said he knew it. At a time like this, they need heroes like these. There were flames in front of Yusuha, and the hero looked at it. He wished the girl a safe journey. There was fire in the guy's eyes and his whole face was sweaty. There was a fire behind Yusuha. The guy didn't understand how this hunter could be a hero. The guy ran from him, wiping his face. He thought that this hunter was a murderer and a psychopath. He needs to run. The green glass bottle broke near the guy's leg. The guy looked back in fear. At the corner of the house stood Yusuha, behind whom there was still a red flame. The summer spirit smiled and said that he thought he had already dealt with all the rats in the area. There were drops of water on the cheeks of the running guy. The hunter has the look of a killer. The guy ran from the hunter, and a flame appeared in Yusuha's hand. The guy thought that the girl was not the first. How many people had the hunter already killed? Tens, hundreds of people. The guy was very scared and was still running away from Yusuha. Suddenly the guy fell to the ground. He looked at his leg. Most likely he twisted it. A hunter was approaching the guy. The hero was sitting on the ground, resting his hands on it, and Yusuha stood next to him. The guy asked the hunter for mercy. The summer spirit asked him where the guy was in such a hurry. The hunter looked at the hero who was sobbing. He asked the guy if he saw it. The dark-haired boy replied that he saw nothing. Yusuha knelt down next to the guy and asked, "What didn't you see?" The hunter grabbed the hero by the neck and told him that not only was he calling the hunter a summer spirit, but he also claimed that he had not seen anything. Although even Yusuha did not ask for anything specific. The hunter has a hard time believing this. He can't even attribute it to the guy's sick fantasy, but the guy said that he wouldn't tell anyone anything. Yusuha smiled madly. He said, "If the guy doesn't want to follow the saint, then he better answer." Yusuha asked who sent him to him. The hero recalled how he watched a live broadcast with a hunter. He couldn't understand how much he admired this man the most. The summer spirit looked at the guy who was being held by the hunter's hand. The hero asked Yusuha to check it out. He said that the hunter has the skill of recognizing lies, so let him check it. The summer spirit was confused. He said that he deceived the girl. So Yusuha killed the girl without any evidence. The hunter was still holding the guy by the neck, who asked, "Just because you were suspected of something." The summer spirit pushed the guy with dark hair away and told him not to slander other people. The hero's face was covered in sweat, and he was holding his throat. Yusuha explained that he found out about the girl's intentions to kill him. If he had not killed her, then tomorrow she would have poisoned him. But the guy didn't understand why the hunter got it. The summer spirit put a spear on his shoulder and said that he knew everything. He has one method. Yusuha pulled the guy's hair and smiled. Judging by the fact that the hero is ready to pass any lie test, it means that he is definitely out of business. The guy thanked the spirit for believing him. Suddenly, the hero's hair began to catch fire due to the hunter's hand. Unfortunately, the guy still saw too much. Yusuha smiled and his hand was orange. He said that it was time for the hero to die because the hunter would not leave the first place. The hero recalled how, as a little boy, he stood with a ball, and a man sat next to him. The man told the guy, "Kim Kan-ya, your name means young master, therefore the hero must live up to and become an outstanding person." The boy smiled and said that it would be so. The hero doesn't want to die. Kim Kan-ya was lying face down with a notice above him indicating that he had died. The hero did not understand why he should die like this, or rather, why he should live like this. A notification appears indicating that the conditions for using the skill have been met. The guy wished he had a little more time. New notification that a random skill from Yusuha is being copied. Another notification with different cards hovering next to it. It said, "Skill card created." Kim Kan-ya lay and cried, and something illuminated his head. He deserves to live too. The hero saw a notification that he needed to select a skill card. He reached his hand up. If only he had another chance. The guy grabbed the gold card. Just one chance. The selection is complete. Copying a skill. Kim Kan-ya lay with his eyes open. Breaking news from Babylon. There was a laptop on the table on which the live broadcast was taking place. The Black Dragon Guild appeared to capture the 40th floor of the tower. They planned to show off the top-level guild skills. Kim Kan-ya was lying on the bed, and the kitchen was very dirty. It's a shame, but they returned empty-handed again. The guy suddenly jumped out of bed. Beads of sweat appeared on his face. Kim Kan looked at the laptop where the summer spirit was shown. He once again defeated the boss single-handedly. The hero did not understand what was happening. Kim Kan stood in his room with a surprised face. He didn't understand how it happened. There was sweat on the hero's face. He didn't know when he returned home. Social network users discussed the behavior of the summer spirit. Yusuha shouted angrily into the microphone. They called him by his nickname again, and he hated it. The hero was holding his phone in his hands and was scared. He couldn't understand why everyone was saying the same thing as yesterday. Kim Kan-ya recalled an encounter with a hunter. The guy pulled his hand to the side. There were 2 yellow skill cards in front of him, and he was reaching for the left one. The card had an S+ level rank. It is automatically triggered upon death at the hands of an enemy. There was another card in front of Kim Kan-ya, and the hero looked at it in surprise. Is this really a skill he copied when he died? There was a description of the skill on the card. Its name is Reincarnation Wind-Up Clock, and its rank is X. It is automatically applied upon death. After death, it returns you 24 hours ago. Kim Kan-ya was still sitting and looking at this skill. Automatically returns a day back, the hero thought. But memory and skills remain. The guy walked up to the wall where newspapers with a summer spirit hung. This is the secret of the legendary hunter. That is why the saint died. Kim Kan-ya recalled the summer spirit that killed the girl and him and his phrase that he knows everything. The hero clenched his hand angrily into a fist. In fact, a day ago the saint poisoned him, and then the summer spirit finished off the innocent hero. The guy stood near the sink and heard the hunter being asked to share the secret of success with the throwers. He turned around and looked at the summer spirit, who said if a person is destined to succeed, so be it. However, even if someone achieves success, it is better for them not to put a spoke in the hunter's wheels. The hero opened his mouth a little at the phrase of the spirit who was on the air. He said that if anyone interferes, he will die. Kim Kan-ya turned his head to the side and wondered, will they die? The guy began to squeeze the card that was in his hand. He decided to see who would die this time. Suddenly, the hero turned his gaze to the window. Someone was shouting about a fire. The hero raised his hand to the window, and in the distance he saw a strong fire. Kim Kan-ya walked out of the building holding a knife in his hand. People ran past him, hurrying to put out the fire. The guy was walking on the corner of the house with a knife in his hand. The hero lives in a place different from the outside world. This city gathers people who want to become hunters. First floor of the tower. Kim Kan-ya ran through the city and looked at the phone. Is this really the moment? It was 7:30, and people were putting out the fire. About the time the hero hit, the hunter started a fire, while he killed the saint in order to hide the evidence. Hunters with the element of water should not fight at random. Everyone needs to simmer together at the same time. The girl with purple hair stood with her mouth open. This is the head of the Black Dragon Guild. Black Witch. He takes over temporarily, so everyone needs to follow orders. This city had many names. A girl with green hair stood in fear on the street. Healer. Head of the Guild of Healers and Pharmacists. Some call it Babylon, while others simply call it the City of the First Floor. The captain of the city vigilantes also helped in extinguishing the fire. Holy Night. He said it wasn't necessary. This place has been empty for 5 years. Lucky someone called it the City of Exaltation, but the essence was always the same. Once you set foot in this city, you will never be able to leave. Residents of the city watched the fire with Kim Kan-ya. All local residents have long been accustomed to emergency situations. The hero looked to the side. He heard people discussing that the saint had not yet come. She's not the type to be late for something like this. A girl with green hair stood next to a knight who was holding a fire extinguisher. He said that the saint was talking about her business, maybe a date. Lately, he and the summer spirit have become very close. The healer crossed her arms and turned her head to the side. She doesn't like this Yusuha. He just makes her feel sick. Behind the people stood the summer spirit. He held his head and asked to lit the fire without his permission. Kim Kan-ya looked angrily towards the hunter. The summer spirit walked past the knight, and everyone took pictures of him. He thought that everyone was waiting for him. Yusuha smiled and clenched his hand into a fist. They told him that a fire had broken out in the old slums and asked if he could help. The summer spirit asked what he would get in return. Veins were visible on Kim Kan-ya's hand due to the fact that he was holding the knife in his hand. This hunter is looking for profit in a fire that he himself started. The guy walked out of the crowd of people who were holding their phones. The summer spirit was offered public approval, but he replied that he was not interested. To be honest, I don't care about character either. This is a legendary level hunter, so it doesn't matter. Kim Kan-ya remembered someone's words. Yusuha walked away from the villagers and waved to them. He wished them to find other volunteers. The hunter walked and smiled, and the hero looked at him angrily. No one knows. Everyone considers him a hero with a bad character. From the summer spirit there was a shadow of the event on Earth as he strangled the hero. Only Kim Kan-ya knows the true face of this maniac. The guy's eyes became very small. He decided that he must kill the hunter. The guy walked out of the crowd of residents, and everyone looked at him. They couldn't figure out where he was going. The boy in the blue cap tried to stop the hero, but Kim Kan pushed him away. They shouted to the hero that it was dangerous there. For the sake of humanity, for the honor of the hunters, the hunter is only human. The hero walked confidently in his white sneakers with green accents, a man hastily rushing into battle with monsters. The hunter turned his gaze back. They shouted to the hero to wake up. Kim Kan-ya ran with a knife in his hands towards Yusuha. The guy stretched his hand forward and thought that this monster needed to be destroyed. Kim Kan-ya ran into the flames, and all the people looked at him in surprise and shouted that there was a fire there. The hero was not visible in the fire, but he could be heard screaming. He felt incredibly hot. The residents of the city were greatly frightened because of this act. Kim Kan-ya was in pain. He stood in the flames and grabbed his head. Yusuha looked at all this, but the hero understood that he could kill the hunter only this way. A death notification has appeared. Afterwards, we see a notification that the hero has returned 24 hours ago. The hero was lying on the pillow. Breaking news from Babylon. Kim Kan-ya sat on the bed and looked at the floor. He heard that the Black Dragon Guild had appeared to take over the 40th floor of the tower. A notification appeared in front of the hero stating that the hero's rank at the moment is F. The automaticity of the skill is well developed. Now we see another notification that said that the penalty due to the skill was not given. Kim Kan-ya thought so. Level F doesn't even have penalties. The hero cannot now kill the hunter on his own. And even if the guy is lucky, the summer spirit will simply return in time. He also has this skill. The hero sat and turned his head back. Therefore, he, a low-ranking hunter, has only one choice. There was a photograph of Yusuha on the wall. The hunter sat in front of a girl in a red suit. He was asked at what age he awakened his first skill. The summer spirit replied that in the summer, when he was 21 years old. So 11 years have already passed. The girl noticed that, judging by how detailed he remembers it, he has an excellent memory. Yusuha took a sip of his drink. This was not entirely true. It was just his birthday that day. Kim Kan-ya looked at his hand. He calculated that 4,050 days had passed since June 7th, which was 11 years ago. The hero stretched out his hands in front of him. He hit himself sharply in the chest. The guy decided to return to the moment before the awakening of the hunter skill. The guy was fined. The hero lay sweating on the pillow. He went back 24 hours. Kim Kan-ya clenched his fist. He has 4,049 days left. The hero again stretched out his hands in front of him, and he was fined. The guy was sitting on the floor in a blue jacket and meditating. He was fined again. Kim Kan-ya coughed up blood. A notification appeared saying that he had gone back 24 hours. The hero was already lying in a white jacket on the floor. He was not given a skill penalty. Again, a notification that the hero has been fined. The guy took his heart. He held a knife in his hands and thought that there were 2,020 days left. He was fined again. There were newspapers with the face of the summer spirit hanging on the wall. 543 days left. Kim Kan-ya smiled. He has his last day left. The hero pierced his chest. Kim Kan-ya lies on the floor on a white sheet in a star pose. He is wearing a black sweater and black trousers, and in his left hand is a knife with a green handle. Kim Kan-ya looks at the ceiling and looks lost. He listens to the ticking of the clock. The hero hears some sound and suddenly stands up. Now he sits on the floor, leaning on his hands, and his gaze is directed in the direction where the sound came from. Kim Kan-ya sits on a white sheet and looks at the wall. Various newspaper clippings pop up in Kim Kan-ya's memory. There is a knife in his hand. Holding it, he rests his hand on the wall. He thinks that he has returned to the moment when the legend of the summer spirit had not yet begun. Leaning on the wall with his hand, Kim Kan-ya also buried his head against the wall. He laughs sadly. He tries to remember what happened, but his mind is clouded, and he sees only white flashes. He thinks that in addition to the originally planned 4,050 times, he died about 30 more times. This was necessary to cover time. He sits on the floor in the kitchen, leaning his back on an old tattered bedside table, covering his face with his hands, and next to him lies his knife with a green handle. His thought is interrupted by a picture that pops up in his memory. It represents the summer spirit, hunter Yusuha. He smiles evilly, and his eyes sparkle. The summer spirit of the hunter Yusuha is enveloped in flames. Kim Kan-ya holds her knife in front of him. He continues to reflect that this was time spent on the suicides themselves and on resting in between. All this torments so that the world does not hear the fable of this demon. Gentle daylight pours onto the floor and onto Kim Kan-ya's feet. On tiptoe, carefully, he begins to walk. Throwing on a white sweater and grabbing his knife, Kim Kan-ya appears in the doorway and leaves the apartment. A bright, blinding light shines on the hero. His face is serious and thoughtful. He puts a hood on his head and thinks that it's time to find his game. Kim Kan-ya remembers May 6th, 11 years ago. There is a clock hanging on the wall. Their hands show exactly 11 o'clock in the morning. Kim Kan-ya stands in a white sweater in front of a multi-story building. He creeps up to one of the windows and peeks into the apartment. A man is visible there. This man's alarm clock starts playing with wishes of good morning, barely opening his eyes. He sighs heavily, and Kim Kan-ya is slightly visible in the window. This man sits on the bed, looks at his phone and says his head is going to explode. Kim Kan-ya watches him through the window, trying not to give himself away, while the man looks at his phone and scratches the back of his head. They unanimously say that it looks like he had too much yesterday. Kim Kan-ya lived this day 10 more times for the sake of perfect reconnaissance. Through the window, Kim Kan-ya sees this man quickly putting on a red t-shirt and a black raincoat. He is clearly in a hurry to get somewhere. Kim Kan-ya reflects that this person wakes up every time at exactly 9 o'clock in the morning in the F-Rank hunter's office. Grabbing his stick, the man hurries to leave and tells himself that he has to go to work. Kim Kan-ya, walking away from the window, thinks, what a sucky life this man has. The clock indicates 3 p.m. Summer spirit hunter Yusuha catches a slime on the second floor of the tower. With his weapon, he easily deals with the red slime. Cutting it into 2 parts, only splashes fly to the sides. Summer spirit hunter Yusua stands in a small park. His stick is stuck in slime, and in his hand he holds a slippery and unpleasant piece of slime. Summer spirit hunter Yusua is very angry and says that he has been catching only slimes for the 100th day. This is absolutely disgusting. Crushing a piece of slime in his hand, he furiously shouts that he is the Knight of Summer, and Kim Kan-yaw hides behind him and watches him, and has his knife at the ready. When will he begin to live in grand style, like a holy sword? Kim Kan-yaw thinks that at 21 years old, spirit hunter Yusua was an extremely ordinary F-rank hunter, only waiting for a sharp turn in his life. Summer spirit hunter Yusua holds another piece of slime in his hand, looks at it, and furiously shouts that why can't he find a winning lottery ticket or an S-level skill for once? Kim Kan-yaw thinks if everything went as before. Summer spirit hunter Yusua throws a piece of slime into a puddle of red slime, making an unpleasant sound. He's standing next to this puddle of red slime. Kim Kan-yaw continues her thought that very soon everything would be the way the summer spirit hunter Yusua wants it. But suddenly, a red puddle of slime flies into the air and quickly attacks Kim Kan-yaw. But he expected this, and with a lightning-quick movement of his hand, he cuts the stream of slime. Only red splashes flew from it. Kim Kan-yaw looks at the puddle of slime with contempt, and says that now the summer spirit hunter Yusua will not see this. Kim Kan-yaw's hands are covered in red mucus. He grabs his head with these hands. The clock shows 5 hours 31 minutes. Summer spirit hunter Yusua stands in a beautiful room, the walls of which resemble black air bubbles and blue water. Summer spirit hunter Yusua says that he is moving to the 6th floor. There is no prospect of catching slimes alone, so, having become determined, Yusua moves to a top-level area that is not visited by novice hunters. There is a movement to the hunting grounds of the 6th floor. Summer spirit hunter Yusua finds himself in a beautiful light forest. There is a lot of greenery around and the pleasant sun is shining. There won't be another soul here for the next 36 minutes. A man suddenly appears behind him, and his shoes are covered in red spots. He says to the summer spirit hunter, Yusua, "Sorry, Mr. Hunter." Summer spirit hunter Yusua holds his weapon on his shoulders, turns around and looks at Kim Kan-yaw both angrily and questioningly. Kim Kan-yaw looks fearfully at the summer spirit hunter Yusua. All of Kim Kan-yaw's clothes are covered in blood-red slime that drips from his hands. He says that he was attacked by wolves and asks for a potion. Summer spirit hunter Yusua sharply turns his body towards Kim Kan-yaw and angrily shouts that he said, he has already raised all the monsters here. Looking away and spitting saliva, he said that then, you won't be able to hunt here anymore. Kim Kan-yaw, standing in blood-red clothes, continued to ask for the potion. Then, the summer spirit hunter Yusua furiously shouted, "What kind of potion? Now he won't see a day's income." Looking cynically at Kim Kan-yaw, he asks how much he is willing to give for the potion. "Ah," says Kim Kan-yaw, poking Kim Kan-yaw in the chest with his weapon. Summer spirit hunter Yusua once again asks how much he is willing to pay for the potion. Kim Kan-yaw continues to pretend that he is in great pain. Holding a red bottle in his hand, summer spirit hunter Yusua says that his hunt was unsuccessful, and he must give away this expensive potion just like that. So also, for the dude whom he sees for the first time, he says nothing is done for free. Holding a bottle of potion right in front of Kim Kan-yaw, summer spirit hunter Yusua says that at the alchemy market, this potion sells for 20 gold. Kim Kan-yaw interrupts him and quickly says that he is ready to give 20 gold for it. So hurry up. Kim Kan-yaw was about to grab the potion, but the summer spirit hunter Yusua quickly withdrew his hand with the potion and stopped Kim Kan-yaw with his other hand. Summer spirit hunter Yusua says that Kim Kan-yaw doesn't seem to understand. Yusua places her weapon on Kim Kan-yaw's chest and pushes him away. Kim Kan-yaw is very scared. Summer spirit hunter Yusua says that Kim Kan-yaw is about to die, but offers only 20 gold. He asks how much his life is worth. Stuttering, Kim Kan-yaw says that then he is ready to give 40 gold. Leaning over Kim Kan-yaw, the summer spirit hunter Yusua smiles sarcastically and tells him not to take his words into his head. He grabs Kim Kan-yaw by the scruff of the neck and screams in his face to just give him everything he has. Kim Kan-yaw thinks that he knew this would happen. Summer spirit hunter Yusua stands opposite Kim Kan-yaw and looks at him angrily. He says that Kim Kan-yaw has a problem with his hands, so he won't be able to give him anything. Let him not worry. Then the summer spirit hunter Yusua will take the money himself. Kim Kan-yaw thinks that he knew that the summer spirit hunter Yusua was like this. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha pushes Kim Kanya away and snatches his blue wallet. Kim Kanya flies to the ground. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha says, "Let's see." With an arrogant face, he pours gold coins out of his wallet and counts them. 1, 2, 3. He says, upset, only about 60 gold. He asks why Kim Kanya is so poor. He asks him to carry more money with him. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha holds Kim Kanya by the hair. On his knees with horror, Kim Kanya says that this is all his money. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha looks at him with contempt and tells Kim Kanya not to be afraid. He will put this money to good use. Kim Kanya remembers a moment from her past life. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha smiles sweetly, but dying sparks of flame fly behind him. That is life. Having taken all the money, the summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha releases Kim Kanya. Kim Kanya extends her hand to him and tells him to give him the potion. Then the summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha grabs his weapon and raises his hand in the air. A black ominous aura emanates from him. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha shouts what he was thinking. If he saves him, then Kim Kanya can take revenge on him later. Kim Kanya looks at Yusu-ha pleadingly. He is on his knees and reaches out his hand to Yusu-ha. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha says that every person wants to live in peace and quiet, and Kim Kanya took a good look at him. Peace, Kim Kanya asks herself. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha swings to Kim Kanya, looks at him with a mad look and shouts, "Why doesn't he die here and now?" Okay, Kim Kanya thinks. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha is about to deal a fatal blow to Kim Kanya. Kim Kanya is on her knee. A blue glow can be seen from underneath it. Kim Kanya suddenly jumps out of her seat towards the summer spirit of the hunter Yusu-ha. With his knee, he delivers a powerful blow to the groin of the summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha. Kim Kanya is full of determination and rage towards the summer spirit of the hunter Yusu-ha. Kim Kanya thinks that he will provide him with peace and quiet. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha grabs his groin with one hand. His legs give way. He can barely stand on the ground from pain. Summer spirit hunter Yusu-ha says, "Damn." Looking at the summer spirit hunter Yusu-hu with a determined look, Kim Kanya deftly takes out his sword from his bosom. Kim Kanya lunges towards Yusu-ha and hits him hard. Summer spirit Yusu-ha's pupils shrink from the sharp pain and her eyes open wide. Blood splatters around him. Kim Kanya stands over the body of the summer spirit Yusu-ha. In his hand is a knife with a green handle. He's covered in blood. Kim Kanya laughs, crying that 1 in 1,000 that a threat to his life will awaken him. Kim Kanya rushes towards the summer spirit Yusu-ha to finish him off. He swings his weapon and shouts that he will definitely send him to the next world. Kim Kanya plunges her knife straight into Yusu-ha's head.